when I was praying, and God spoke to my heart and said, I would like you to be the director at Charis Bible College. And I thought to myself, well, they already have directors, so that's a bit awkward. And so, I didn't really say anything at first because my mom taught me not to be rude. And so I continued during my prayer time. It would come up to me that this is really a position that I'm supposed to be in. And I really don't even know why I would even be nervous at that, because I know the directors. Sarah can acknowledge this. We like to say that we graduated from a 2-year college in 4 years. And that's not because we're not smart. We did the part-time thing. So I had the opportunity to sit under very, very good leadership.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
These people moved from their home to a state that they didn't know anybody. They didn't have anybody here to really tell them, how do you start a school? How do you find a building? How do you get students to come? And because, just like Shonda and Denise and Yolanda were talking about, because they listened to the voice of God, because they obeyed, I got to go to Charis Bible College. Because they obeyed. Now, we know that Jesus is our provider and does everything for us, but we still have a will, and we get to make that decision if we're going to follow that call or not. So I am very thankful that the people that pioneered this school obeyed and listened to what God had them do. So if I could please have Ken and Shelley please stand. They are actually living in Panama, the country. Not the state, the country. So they, once again, are pioneers and have moved out of the country. Well, that's a good thing and that's a bad thing at the same time, because I had to sink or swim once they left. But again, Ken has done a great work for the school. I'm so thankful that for his leadership at the school, for his patience, for trying to teach me how to work all that computer stuff. So thank you very, very much. So please give them a hand.
That's good.
And at this moment, I would like to welcome up Shelley Settles. I did it without crying. Right, Kim? So Shelley is our keynote speaker, so please give her your attention because I'm sure she has amazing things to tell you.
I'm so proud of Deanne for multiple reasons, but to do this without crying is just amazing. I gotta say, she didn't finish her story, by the way. She went through the proper channels and she set an appointment with us after school was out. She, didn't want any whispers or anything going like that, and she came in and it was awkward for you. You could tell something was up. It's like, oh no, what have we done to offend her? And we're going to have to, fix something or adjust something. And she said, you know what? This could be really awkward, but I feel like God is telling me that He wants me to be the director of Charis Bible College. And I just looked at Ken and broke out into a big smile, because in our own human flesh, we had seen someone and we thought that that person was the right person, and they didn't even finish Charis Bible College. It was like, obviously we were wrong. And then there was another person that came along, and we were grooming this person, and we have a huge heart for this person. But as time wore on, we saw things that it's like God was saying, just like when it was Samuel that was looking to anoint one of Jesse's sons, and it's like, it's not him, it's not him, not him. do you have any more sons? We in our own flesh thought that we had the person. And then we both independently got that little check. This is not the right person. So it's like, okay, God, we have an idea. Why don't we let you pick? So it wasn't that much longer, a month or so, when Deanne came to us. So we came down here to establish the school, and in our hearts, we figured it would be 5 to 7 years. And it turned out to be 6, so we weren't too far off. It was a labor of love. It was a scary labor of love. You kind of come right out and feels like you're going to jump off into a big black hole and you can't see the bottom of it because you don't know how to run a Bible college. You don't know how to start. Like Deanne said, you don't know the first thing about it. But we were living the bubble of Colorado. And that was safety and security. And my sister lived there, and we had friends by this time, and I worked at the ministry, and it was a lot to give up. But when you feel that little tugging in your heart, it's okay, Lord. And that's one thing I want to talk to you about is it's going to be okay. It's going to be scary, but it's going to be okay. And yes, I have notes, but I'm not even sure I'm going to crack it. I got to tell you, I wouldn't have missed today for anything. It is so awesome to come to a graduation that I didn't have to work at to put it together. I can just come and enjoy it. But to see faces, oh my goodness. Tashonda, you said that you were surprised. I'm not surprised.
Come on.
I've seen what God's deposited in you.
So good.
Denise, oh my goodness. I almost didn't recognize you. I mean, physically you look the same, but God has done a mighty work in you, and you are such a powerful, mighty woman of God. I am so proud of each and every one of you for different reasons, and there's only a handful that I don't recognize. So I am a proud mama. My heart is full, and it is with great pleasure that I am here today. So thank you, Deanne, for letting me come. I want to tell you just a little bit about our adventures in Panama, not because Panama is anything, but because we have chosen to stay in that place where we are dependent upon God. It's not that we ever got comfortable at the school, but we knew when we started the school, we were not laying our lives down and that we were going to die in Arizona. We knew it was just a season in our lives. We don't know what's happening in Panama or why God has specifically brought us there. It's different than I would have thought it would be. Yes, we're learning Spanish. Yes, we're getting out of our comfort zone. Yes, we're making new friends and doing all of those things. But for once, I am being able to be a Mary, and I have awesome downloads from God. It's kind of like I'm being rewarded now at graduation to see all of your smiling faces, but I'm also being rewarded in Panama just being able to get into the Word and get my fuel tank fueled back up, because then there's going to be something else that He sends it out to. And He's sending us to the nations. We don't know exactly what that looks like. We get bits and pieces and glimpses, but I can tell you it's a little bit scary, because you can kind of see where you're supposed to be, but you don't really know how to get there. And that's a good thing, because if you knew, you'd do it in your own strength, would you not?
Right, right.
So what God has for each and every one of you, and I would just want to say congrats to you. You know, I was around when most of you signed up for school, but there were other faces that signed up for school too. They're not here today. It takes effort. It takes money, it takes commitment, it takes energy, it takes support from friends and family.
Right.
It takes a lot of things, and good on you for not letting yourselves get distracted by life, because you know, life is kind of demanding. Life throws things at you from left field. But when you know that you're in the will of God, you can handle anything. And it's going to make you stronger. Going to continue to deposit things into your lives that now you'll be, as Tashonda said, you are equipped, and you'll be able to turn around and pass that out to someone else who needs it. That's the way it works. Every joint supplies. every cell in the body. Now, don't be surprised if as you grow, you find your gifts and callings are different. For the longest time, I tried to fit myself into a box of what I thought people expected. I don't fit too many boxes. I'm my own individual.
Come on.
God created me, and I have no idea what he had in mind when he did it. But if I were to try to violate that and be someone else, I'd be a lousy Deanne. I'd be a lousy Andrew Wallman. I'd be a lousy you. I only have a chance of being a halfway decent me. And I'm still learning who I am. So I guess my charge to you, whether you're in first year or second year or somewhere in between, is don't let today be, okay, I graduated Charis Bible College. There's no period. You don't stop learning. The one thing I learned when I went to Charis is that Charis gave me a framework.
Yeah.
Charis didn't tell me everything in the Bible or answer all my questions, but it gave me a framework to read the Word for myself. It gave me a framework of knowing how much God loved me unconditionally. It gave me the freedom to ask questions, because in some circles, asking questions is almost a challenge to their authority. Well, I have since learned, ask questions. Ask a lot of good questions. Ask hard questions. Go ahead, ask Deanne some hard questions. When you ask them of the Holy Spirit, it may take a while, but he'll answer you. Sometimes you've got to learn basic math before you can learn trigonometry or, the higher education thing. And sometimes maybe your questions are something that you don't have a foundation for full grasp yet. It's not that he's ignoring you. He will answer you. He loves you.
Amen.
But I also don't want you to think that you are, now that you're a graduate or going to be a graduate of Charis, that you've got it made. Say it's just one step along the way station of life. If you have it all figured out, then you are playing in the wrong pool, right? You're not thinking big enough. God is so good. And it isn't about serving him either. That was kind of an eye-opener for me. It isn't about what you can do for God. I hope that you know, and if you don't, hear this. It's about relationship with him. Because all ministry comes out of relationship anyway. If you have a tentative relationship with him, if you don't know who you are or who God is in you, if you don't know that you've been equipped, if you don't know the unconditional love of God, if you don't know the Word, and I don't mean quote chapter and verse, I mean being able to talk to someone like Tashonda did, the woman who was going to have a baby. She didn't make it religious because that wasn't the thing that person would respond to. So it isn't about feeling like you have to do something for God, although that's very tempting. I graduated along with Ken from the main campus in Colorado Springs, and there was a lot of pressure to, go start a church or go do this or go do that. And I remember some friends of ours that we were blessed to spend a few days with just last summer, and they were going home almost apologetically to minister to their family, while other people were, going to start a Charis Bible College or going to, do whatever they were going to do, plant a church. Well, Melissa and Randy may have gone back to minister to their family, and they may have had a season of doing that. But one thing led to another, and they followed their hearts. And oh my goodness, the ministry that they have now. To homeless street people, they have a church, they have the homeless street people, they feed people, they clothe people. This is a huge ministry in their area. But it wasn't birthed at Charis. It was birthed in the daily life of them just loving God and being in relationship and fellowship with God and seeing a need that they could feel and kind of feeling like, well, I'd like to feel that need. So they just kind of stepped out, and God provides. So whatever's in your heart, you may have a heart to plant a church or start a Charis Bible College or be a missionary. Doesn't mean you're going to know how to do it. You're just going to have to step out with your hand in His. But if you don't have any of those things, man, that's okay too. Because it isn't about what you can do for God. It's about hearing Him. It's about being able to lay your life down and say, not my will, but yours. That comes in all different flavors and colors and versions.
Yeah.
And it comes on a regular basis. You have that opportunity to make another choice. But out of that, you'll find you've developed a life. And if you do it right, it won't be something that you did, therefore you have to maintain it. It will be something that God will guide and direct. You know, I used to tell you, you probably will remember this, that I liken our love or our walk with Christ to be more of a dance than a walk. How can you walk together unless you be agreed? It is a walk. But the image of a dance, and I've had exactly one ballroom dance lesson through Arthur Murray and laughed so hard and giggled so much it wasn't worth the money. But I learned this, that a man is supposed to lead by gentle pressure on the back, the small of a woman's back, and just a slight turn of the wrist, which I'm far exaggerating here. But they can make beautiful moves around the ballroom just by those subtle little movements. I like that analogy for our walk with Jesus better than a walk, because that implies intimacy. That implies the fact that you are so in tune. Do I do this or do I do that? And all you feel is just that little slight pressure in the back or a little slight turn with the wrist. And you are so in tune with the Holy Spirit. Your mind is not on, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I have the money for this? Can I do that? Do I know enough about this? What if they reject me? What if they don't like me? Am I qualified? It's on none of those things that we get hung up with in our heads. It's simply being in tune and responsive to the Holy Spirit. If you can live life in that sweet spot, you're golden. There's nothing that the Lord will not do for you. There's nothing that the Lord won't do through you, because there's not that many surrendered vessels out there. There's a lot of people who love God out there, but they have not learned how to let go and let God. They have not learned how to hear Him. So if you've spent your time here at Charis learning how to hear God, because He does in fact speak to us, He speaks to every single one of us, most of us aren't paying attention. We want to hear God, we want to desperately hear God, or we desperately want to hear God. But they haven't learned to recognize, and so they haven't trained their ear. If you can do that, you're golden. He provides everything that you need. In fact, He already has. He freely gave us Jesus, so how shall He not with Him freely give us all things? Even though I mentioned when we left Colorado to come to Phoenix, it felt like we were just going to jump off this bottomless pit and we couldn't see anybody down there. We knew who was there. We knew that He would catch us. Was it scary to do the school? Absolutely, at times. Rewarding? In shades. Very rewarding. Very rewarding today. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you. Was it scary to leave the school and turn it over to Deanne? Oh, it was awful. The real answer is yes and no, because the school was our baby. But had God allowed us just to pick somebody, that would have been scary. The fact that we, as Andrew would say, our lightning fast brains, realized that we had no business picking our successor. It was never our school. It was always the Lord's school. It always, is Andrew's school. Certainly not our school. But when God raised Deanne up, it bore such witness in our hearts. Because frankly, I could have gone down a list of students I thought was capable. Deanne went on it. Not because she wasn't capable, but because she was so busy with her church and her family, and I knew her heart, and man, her family is first place. Jesus and her family, I mean, that's what rocks her world. So I would have never even considered Deanne. But when the Lord did, it was that instant, yeah, this is the one. This is the one that I can leave our baby to and not even have to look back. Not have to worry if you were in good hands. Not have to worry whether she was making good decisions or not. And frankly, I don't think that much about the Charis anymore. Sorry to say, but we are on to our next adventure. Just like you will be, and it should be that way, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Why would I fear something that I know is in such good hands? Why would I mean, my heart will always be here and will always be with Andrew Womack Ministries, but why would I fear and worry and be concerned? You're in good place. You're in good hands. I would encourage any of you who are considering third year. It was an awesome program last year. I'm sure it's more awesomer this year. If you're even wondering, should you invest in yourself to do that? The answer is probably yes, but check with Daddy, because, there's a timing thing. Sometimes students go and they, work a year and recoup, and then they come back. And there's no right way or wrong way to do something. Just be led of God. One size does not fit all. He has a unique plan for you, a purpose for you, just like He has a unique calling for you. And I'll help you. Your calling is relationship with Him. It's just intimacy with Him.
Amen.
Because out of that, different expressions will come.
That's good.
Some of you may excel in music. Not my calling or my gifting. You don't want me to sing for you today, and I will give you the gift of not doing so. But I struggled for years because there's something that I was always interested in, but I always shoved it down because I wanted to be that sacrifice. I didn't want anything that was of me, and I didn't give place to that because it wasn't godly, or so I thought. Then I learned something, and if you haven't learned this, I'll give you a shortcut. You are redeemed.
Come on.
Therefore, all things are redeemed for you. Not everything's profitable, so you have to use wisdom, but there's not a thing of holy and secular when it comes to what's in your heart. God has put those hearts and desires in your heart.
So good.
God has put them there.
So good.
He is in you both to will and to work His good pleasure. It's all about Him.
Amen.
So when you take your eyes totally off yourself, you can relax. And just trust Him. And wherever He leads you, maybe it'll be abroad. You and I are going to travel all over the world. We don't know how that, what that looks like or how to do that, but that's what God said, so we're going to do it.
Amen.
But He has something equally exciting for you. Some of you were maybe afraid to get on that plane to England the first time because you'd never been out of the States before. Honey, you've not seen anything yet. If you will let Him, your life will be an adventure that you cannot contain. Because He can do it and plan it better for you than you can plan it for yourselves. So I just want to encourage you. I know I'm out of time, and it's a dangerous thing to give me a mic. Because I haven't even looked at my notes, but it doesn't take much. Poke me, and I will talk about my Lord. But I just, again, want to congratulate you. My heart is so full, and I am so proud of each and every one of you sitting here. You've done something that most people don't. And I want to thank the alum and the other students here that I had a heart in and watch you come in one way and go out another way. Man, God is good. God is good. So, put your hand in His. Don't consider this a period. It's just a comma. It's just a brief pause in the dance of life. But He's got good things for you. Every single one of you. And I hope that you will connect with us. You can go to connect at, Kim wrote it down for me because I don't do it, but Our ministry is globalgraceoutreach.com. If you went to the website, you're not going to see it updated because that's something that we haven't really been able to focus on, but we will be shortly. But you can connect with us at connect@globalgraceoutreach.com. We couldn't come up with anything short. Connect@globalgraceoutreach.com. We would love to hear from you what your plans are, what you're deciding to do, whether you're going to go on to third year, or just wherever life takes you. Don't forget about us, because we have not forgotten about you. So thank you very much, Deanne. The fun part's coming up.
Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed and believe you have benefited from this message or believe in our ministry, please consider being part of it by donating to it. The information as to how is in the end credits. Also, feel free to contact us. Thank you.